can definitely see a lot more poke. Yeah, it's definitely really wide. What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'm gonna be putting wheel spacers on my BMW 435. This is gonna be on the stock 18s that come with the M Sport package, so stay tuned. Alright, so before I get into it, I just want to say if you guys aren't subscribed already, definitely hit the button. I'm trying to reach 1,000 marks, so definitely help me out. Hit the button. It is free. I make videos pretty often. Anyways, let's get into it. Alright, so let me show you guys the spacing right now. Again, this is a 435, so it is the coupe, and it is on factory suspension. It is not lowered right now. It's on the factory 18s, the M Sport wheels. So this is the current spacing here. So if you guys can see that there's a good amount of gap. So it just doesn't look great. You know, wheel spacers should widen the track, should make it look a little beefier, a little wider, and it should help with handling a little bit. But yeah, so that's the rear. Hopefully if I can get maybe like a better angle like that so you can see. You know, obviously I'm gonna have to lower the car as well, but in the meantime I just wanted to do some spacers. So that was the rear. This is the front over here. Not as bad, I would say. So here's another angle of the front over here. Again, not as bad in my opinion as the rear, but you know, we didn't go as wide of wheel spacers for the front as we did for the rear. So let me show you the wheel spacers that I got. So of course I got them from Burger Tuning. The reason why I got them from there is honestly because they make some good quality wheel spacers, guys. You can get some ones like off eBay, Amazon, but I like Burger Tuning. They make quality stuff, so I definitely stuck around with them. They're a little more pricey, but I think it's worth it. So the sizes that I went for were 20mm in the rear, so that's for the rear, and then 15 for the front. So that is pretty aggressive, guys, but on the 4 Series, you guys can actually go a little more aggressive. On the 3 Series, you actually can't go as wide as like 20mm from what I've researched. I saw someone with stock 18s, and I think dropped on like iBox springs or something like that, and they had the same setup and it looked really good, so I figured I'd go for the same. Hopefully it's not too much. If it is, I mean, maybe I'll put the 15s in the rear instead of the front, and then I'll get something else for the front. We'll play around with it, guys, and we'll see what kind of like works and what looks good, but for right now I do want something a little more aggressive, especially on the rear. So let's see how these work out. All right, now that Subaru passed, the thing was super loud. Let me show you guys what you actually get inside the box. So obviously inside the box, you'll get the wheel spacer itself. Let me just take this out of the plastic real quick and I'll show you guys. All right, so here it is, guys. Of course, this is the 20mm. Like I said, again, this is gonna go on the rear of the car. But here it is. Again, this is super good quality. As you guys can see, it is hub centric. So what that basically means is, you know, obviously the wheel right now sits on the hub, and then the wheel spacer is gonna sit on the hub, and then the wheel is gonna sit on the wheel spacers. So it's important that you guys get this hub centric thing right over here. So that basically means it has the slip over here. Honestly, guys, unless you have like 2mm spacers, definitely get hub centric spacers. People say wheel spacers are dangerous. It's honestly wheel spacers that are not hub centric that are dangerous. Wheel spacers that are, in my opinion, are fine as long as everything's torqued down and done properly. So another bright side to the Burger Tuning spacers, they actually have this slit over here. So if you guys can see that, so basically when you put these spacers on the hub, it does seize up. So when you guys have your wheel onto the car for a little while, it will seize. So obviously if you put the wheel spacer on, it'll do the same. So it will seize. So two benefits, guys. So Burger Tuning does kind of include this little slit in here, so once it's kind of seized up on your hub, you guys can basically get something in there and kind of pry it off. Otherwise, if it's flat, it's super hard to get off. Also, guys, Burger Tuning is also kind enough to include some anti-seize with your wheel spacers. So obviously you'll put that between the wheel spacer and the hub to basically help, you know, prevent seizing and whatnot. So it's easier to take off once you guys do want to take these off, you know, like servicing your brakes, changing your wheels, or, you know, just changing the space or whatever it is. And then lastly, guys, of course, since you're gonna have, you know, much more space between the hub itself and then the wheel, you know, being the wheel spacer in between, you guys do get some extended lug nuts. So that's really good. Again, obviously you don't want to use the original lug nuts. They're just not long enough to, you know, basically get enough grip and whatnot. I don't know how else you would say it, but you do get the extended lug nuts, so definitely very helpful. So that's the 20mm. Of course, I have the 15mm for the front as well. Same deal, just, you know, this is kind of specific. These lug nuts are actually specific to the size, so if you guys can see here, it'll actually say for what size. So if you see right there on the top, it does say 415mm. So they do give you the specific lug nuts for the size that you choose. So just make sure you're using the lug nuts that come with each respective spacer, because you guys will probably get different sizes for the rear and the front. So another nice thing about Burger Tuning is if you get 2 sets of wheel spacers, so obviously like I did and what you most likely will as well, they do include this additional piece here. It's actually buried right over here. So it's this over here. So if you're familiar with these wheels, again, they're not like a Honda where you basically, you know, have like the studs sticking out of the hub. You kind of put the studs inside. It's a little weird. I'm used to Honda, so it's a little new to me. If you guys are used to BMWs, maybe you're used to it. I'm just personally not. So what this piece basically does is you basically screw it into the hub, and this will help you align the wheel spacer, the wheel, and all that. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean when I actually get into installing it. But yeah. All right, so I think I pretty much went over everything with the wheel spacers. If you guys do want these ones, I will leave some links down in the description below. They are about like maybe like $100 each. So you're looking at maybe like $200 all around. Again, that does come with the studs, that comes with the spacers, the anti-seize, and this tool here, which is if you'll only get this tool if you buy 2 sets of wheel spacers. So again, if you only need ones for like the rear or the front, you won't get this tool. You can buy separately if you want. It's $10, but if you get 2 sets, you will get it for free. Just make sure you buy them together on like one receipt or one order, if that makes sense. Again, links down below if you guys want these. Definitely some nice upgrades to stock wheels. If you're getting aftermarket wheels, maybe just get some with the right offset so you don't need wheel spacers, just my opinion. But if you're sticking with stock wheels, definitely a good choice. All right, so other than wheel spacers themselves, guys, we're gonna need some additional tools. So obviously, you know, if you have an impact wrench, that might be better, but I'm gonna use a breaker bar. And if you guys can see here, I have an additional piece. So this is also from Burger Tuning. What this is basically is, you know, obviously 17mm for your lugs, but it also has this additional coating here. So that's actually meant to protect your wheels. So once you guys put this inside, obviously once you're turning around, you can scratch up your wheels. Obviously this is, you know, hello. Obviously these are just stock 18s, you know, nothing really special, but if you guys want to protect your wheels, definitely a good option. So I have that right now attached to a breaker bar, and then additionally I have a torque wrench obviously right there because we will need to torque down our wheels properly. And then lastly, I also got this from Burger Tuning here. So if you guys have a jack sort of like this, so this piece will go on top of it, because right now this is pretty flat. It's actually not pretty flat, it's very flat. It's also ripped, I just noticed that, so that's good. But anyways, this is flat. This is basically gonna sit on it like this. And if you guys notice, if I can basically get on the car and show you guys right now. So this is actually where you jack up the car. So if you guys see, I can use this the opposite way. If you guys put like a flat piece here, it can bend it. But what this basically does, it'll actually go inside like that. So it's sort of like an adapter. BMW is very specific with their jack points, but it's weird. Anyways, if you guys want this as well, definitely a good investment if you constantly work on your cars, guys. I'll also leave the link down in the description. It's all solid, it's really good quality. Again, good investment if you guys consistently work on your cars. But yeah, links down below. All right, so I think I went over everything. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Spacers, we got torque wrench, breaker bar, take off the lugs right now, obviously a jack. Oh, and then also you guys probably want like a wire brush. So when you take the wheel off and we're gonna put the wheel spacer on the hub, you guys basically want to, like, you know, clean off the hub a little bit. I had wire brushes, I couldn't find them, so I'm gonna be a little ghetto and use this thing here. Again, we just want to like brush it down, get any, you know, like dirt off of it and stuff like that. Maybe I'll also give it like a nice like wipe down after. But yeah, just make sure you have like some type of wire brush. Hopefully one better than this, but hopefully this does the job. I guess we'll see. Anyways, all right, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do the right side first and kind of keep the wheel spacers on that side, and then I'll do the left side later. That way we can actually get like a comparison of the before and after all in one shot. So I will take some befores and afters and, you know, kind of show you some comparisons, but definitely stick around to the end for that. I think that is everything. I think we can actually start installing these. So let's maybe just get into it. So I got the first wheel off, so we can see inside. This thing is super dirty. So like I was saying before, definitely get like a wire brush, something to clean this off. I'm gonna do that right now, and then I'm gonna put on the wheel spacer, put the wheel back on, and then yeah, that'll be one down and just 3 more to go. So let's keep going. So the wheel is on, the spacer's on. If you guys saw in the clip. I did not put anti-seize. The reason for that is I'm still testing it out. I'm not sure if this is the size I'm gonna go with. Once I'm kind of finalized on the size, I will put anti-seize, but for now, I just want to test everything out and see how it fits. But with that said, let's lower the car and see what the back looks like. The wheel spacer is on, the wheels back on, the car is now lowered. Also, I noticed I'm missing a dust cap over here, or whatever you technically call it, but yeah, that's good. Anyways, all right, so like I said, it's on, so now we can see the spacing, and if you see that, it's definitely wider. It is kind of cutting it close. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with 20mm. It is very aggressive, if you guys can see that. Where it's basically lining up is honestly like, maybe like right over here. This is about like where the fender reaches. So it's like right above the tread. It does poke out. I'm not too worried about it because when I do lower the car, I'm not gonna be like dropping it. This is still gonna be like a daily driver, so I'm probably gonna drop it like an inch and a half tops. So I'm not really too worried about rubbing. And if I do kind of experience some rubbing later on, I can switch out the spacers, but for now, I think they might be fine. But yeah, it's definitely an aggressive look. I will definitely say that for sure. I mean, the wheel gap is kind of killing it, but in the meantime, until I lower it, this does look better. Again, this is supposed to help with, you know, like track handling and all that type of stuff. Obviously, I can't say from experience right now, but I'm sure later on, once I drive the car a little more with these spacers on, you know, I'll probably get a better experience for it. But right now, I think it looks good. So again, I didn't do the left side yet, so I can show you guys what it looked like before. So if you see, it's definitely tucked in a lot more. For now, let me do the front, and then I'll show you that, guys. And then probably for the other side, I'm probably just gonna do off camera. I doubt you guys wanna watch me do this 4 times, but let me do it one more time for the front, and then we'll have the right with the spacers on, the left basically just stock. I'll do a comparison at the end, and then yeah, I'll do the rest of it off camera. And then yeah, I think we should be good after that. By the way, really quickly, these things are honestly clutch. If you guys can see how that actually works right there. So it goes into the little slot. Honestly, I think if I were to use it with just a jack, I'm sure it would work, but you'd probably bend and destroy that thing. So yeah, this thing is definitely clutch, guys. Again, if you want one, links down in the description below. Alright, so I just finished up the front. It's lowered, it's on, and besides the wheel being super dirty, I mean, I actually washed the car not too long ago and I already accumulated this much brake dust. It's insane. I will give it a proper clean. But anyways, right now, if you guys can see the spacing, so there it is. It's kind of tough with these shadows and the light right now, but let's see if maybe this side can give a better view. So if you can see that there, you know, it definitely has some poke as well. I think this one is a little more reasonable than the rear right now. The rear is probably a little too aggressive. I probably should have done 18 in the rear. The 15 for the front though, I think actually is pretty good. Again, when I lower the car, I'm not gonna lower it too much, so I'm not really too concerned about rubbing. And I mean, just look how much like this is crazy. That's a lot of wheel gap. But yeah, anyways, let's compare it to the stock. So again, I only did that one side. I didn't do this side yet, so you guys can see. You guys can get a good look at that. So I mean, it's definitely a big difference. So with that said and done, the left side is still stock. The right side, it does have the wheel spacers. So let me do some cinematics, guys. I will do the rest of these ones off camera. Again, I don't think you guys want to, you know, watch me do this again. But let me do it all around, and yeah. So I just wrapped up the installation. Again, I already did this side over here. That's the right side. And then I just finished up the left side over there. Again, it looks much better. I did take the car out for a drive and there was no rubbing. Obviously, this is on factory suspension, so, you know, rubbing isn't really a concern. When I lower it, guys, I'm gonna lower it maybe like on H&R Sport Springs, so it's probably gonna drop like an inch or so. Nothing too dramatic. I will keep you guys posted, you know, if it starts to rub at that point, I'll let you know, but I doubt it. Anyways, all right, that's it, guys. That pretty much wraps up the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, if you guys found this video helpful or entertaining, drop me a like. Also drop me a comment. Let me know what do you guys think I should do for the wheels. Do you guys like this spacing? And lastly, guys, if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm trying to reach the 1,000 mark, so help me out. Hit the button. It is free, and I do make videos pretty often. So yeah, definitely hit the button. Stay tuned. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.